I don't even know.
I like that one more than last week.
I don't even know what to say to that. Welcome to another live edition of the Blunt Lab. I am Al, joined by my brothers Rick and Marcus. Just want to start things off by saying happy birthday to our brother Rick. We
Yes,
love and
sir.
appreciate you here at the lab, brother.
Happy
Hey,
birthday,
nothing but
brother.
love, nothing but love. I appreciate that. And remember, Genesis 1:12. I have given you all seed-bearing plants and herbs to use. On Genesis 1, and God said that was good.
Amen.
And also on January 12th, 1:12, Richard and Diane Stone made Rick's own, and the God said this was good.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. Oh, I see Micah got that song in the backdrop. Well, we're gonna start things off on a little I think we just get the fucked up shit up out the way real quick. So this is the first fucked up thing. Go ahead and show this clip real quick while I sip my coffee.
I'm drinking grape juice today.
It's good for the system.
And I refuse to let this one go under the rug. So this is a nurse in Virginia. She's 26 years old. Her name is Erin Stratman. Now, she was just charged with malicious wounding and felony child abuse. She was intentionally breaking the bones of Black newborns in the NICU.
Oh my God.
Now, these babies were already fragile. They're fighting for their lives in intensive care. Mothers trusted staff to take care of their newborn children. And she betrayed that trust in the most horrific way imaginable. So back in November, doctors discovered that 3 newborns had just unexplainable fractures. And this is not even her first time doing this, because back in 2023, 4 babies in the same NICU had unexplained fractures as well. So that's 7 Black babies with unexplained broken bones in the same NICU. And one baby in particular, this is Noah. Noah was born premature. So then the parents noticed that not only was his leg discolored, but then he just stopped moving his leg altogether. And when Noah got an x-ray, they showed that he had a fracture. And can you imagine, the parents were so afraid to hold their own baby because they didn't want to be accused of child abuse. And one mother even lost her baby. And I just have so many questions. Why wasn't this caught sooner? Did you purposely get a job at a NICU? And how did this go on for over a year? And why aren't you getting charged with a hate crime? You targeted 7 Black babies, some of the most vulnerable lives in our community. And to make it clear, she was denied bond, but that's not enough. The family needs answers. The families deserve justice, and we're not finna just let this go. Now, these babies can't speak for themselves, but we can. My heart goes out to the families involved, and I just pray that you get justice.
Now, all I can really say is that this bitch is a disgusting human being. I don't know what the update is, but if in fact she's still in jail, you know,
no
the
bond.
justice system. Yeah, the justice system is going to go, but so far.
Mm-hmm.
So to the gang members that have ties into the prison, y'all need to check this bitch.
She is in protective custody right now.
Oh, is she?
Yeah. There is a no bond situation going on there. Number one. And first and foremost, I don't. Regardless of her reasons, and yes, what we need to make sure happens is that more light gets shed on it. More light gets shed on it. That's the only way that, like, to use her analogy, the lady who was narrating there, her analogy, they need to have as many of us say, hey, look at this, look at this, look at this, and they will extensiate her charges. Things like hate crime, et cetera, will get included in this. But I digress.
Premature babies, man. Premature babies.
Premature, regular, regardless. And I'm sure you guys may have seen, my post about this a few days back when this was kind of in its midst. I said, it wouldn't have been her going to jail.
Yeah. It certainly would be me.
So disgusting, man.
Let my baby come back with a broken leg.
I
Whatever
didn't.
the
I
fuck
didn't
it
leave
is.
my baby's sights. None of my children left my sight. While we were in the hospital. These days in Florida, we're privileged in that our child doesn't have to leave the room except for a couple of little things, and we can go with them. So I don't let my children leave my sight in the hospital. Back when I was younger, I was worried about the chips and all that bullshit. But just in general, I don't know.
I don't fucking blame you, dude. I don't fucking blame you. Because I know I certainly wouldn't. Yeah,
it'd have been me there, not her.
God, just what a disgusting human being. I mean, there's so much shit you could say, but I mean, like, damn, man, you just hope she gets what coming to her.
Oh, it will, one way or another. Rest assured, one way or another. Those are things you don't get away with, period. Karma don't let you get away with that.
Oh, man. Now, another white lady takes a vacation to Puerto Rico. And I'm unsure of what happened to get her to do what she did. But she set this bar on fire. I don't know if it's pictures or a video.
Where?
But she's from Missouri, and she did this in Puerto Rico. Go ahead and
TikTok is one of the craziest fucking things I've seen in probably the entire 3 years I've been on this app. Some wildebeest from Missouri, what a shocker, from Trump land, decided to go to Puerto Rico on vacation and do one of the most horrible things I've ever seen. First off, she gets piss poor drunk, sits in a bar. The bar is already closed. People are telling her, listen, you gotta fucking leave.
Look at that whale of a bitch.
She gets aggressive. They call the cops on her. The cops tell her, listen, lady, you're drunk. They give her to her place. They fucking said, because cops are like that. In Puerto Rico, sometimes they understand people get carried away. They gave her a chance. They didn't even arrest her. The fucking crazy lunatic came back. They have her on camera with a fucking gas tank. Lit the rest on fire, the bar. And not only that, she took out neighboring businesses. She burned like 4 of them in a fucking city. And then left. She's in the United States. They couldn't even do anything about it later down the line. Bro, let me tell you something. If you're going to go to my island, you respect this fucking place, man. We like tourists. We like people. We'll treat you right. Anybody that has visited there will tell you, like, we go out of our way to treat people decently so that you can have a beautiful experience in this little place, so that you come back, so that you speak highly of us. We want you to have a good time and be happy. But do so with respect, bro. If you're going to go over to wreak havoc, be disrespectful, and do some fucking horrible crime like arson, somebody could have died on this shit. Like, it's crazy. There's the link to the GoFundMe. Please help these people out. I hope they can get their business back on track. It took them a while to build this. And it's horrible what happened to them. My heart goes out to them. Pero mi gente, aprendan a comportarse, puñeta. Learn to fucking behave when you're visiting. Especially some place that it's close to the United States. Bro, we're all American. Have some fucking dignity. Oh, que tengan buen día.
We'll try to make sure that GoFundMe is in our description box for folks that want to help donate. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe they did catch her. They did extradite her fat ass back to Puerto Rico. Those charges carry a sentence, if I'm not mistaken, of like 5 to 10.
So they did.
Yeah.
Great.
I believe it's, he did say 4 businesses that she burned down. So you figure, 5 to 10 for each. Hopefully. Yeah, I hope they do. I hope they do.
There's no hope.
Because I mean, look, skip the fact that she's white. You know what I'm saying? Puerto Rico is a part of America, but when we go out abroad, most people don't like Americans because of how they fucking act when they get drunk.
Fair enough.
When you're vacationing out and about, you're not in America. Those fucking laws and rules you think, work and apply to you here, they don't apply elsewhere. Fuck around and go to some places and try to show some kind of public display of affection and see what happens to you. Your ass will go to jail for something you think is just... If you're out vacationing as an American, be fucking have. You know what I'm saying? There are fucking 13-year-olds drinking harder than you out there, not acting like you motherfuckers.
Anybody
You want
anywhere.
to set shit on fire.
Let's
You know
keep
what I'm
it real.
saying?
Anybody anywhere though. Let's keep it real. Like that. I think that's the the key to the peace and harmony zen that we need for this land is for all of us to think in a mindset of let me not hurt anyone else. And
Let's
that's
just have a good time.
respect and disrespect. At the end of the day, don't hurt them. Don't do anything to hurt them.
Mm.
And don't accept someone else hurting you.
Exactly. Oh, and also on a lighter note, because we're gonna skip past this bitch. The 15th, which is like in a day or so, marks the 3-year anniversary of the Blunt Lab. I want to thank everyone that's been on our journey with us from the start. And listening, chiming in. One of the boys, we appreciate him. So we want to get a hold of Hugh as soon as he gets a hold of us, so we can try to hook him up with some swag. But happy anniversary to the Blunt Lab and birthday to Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to the last piece of fuckedness, the California fires. Now, this is happening in a pretty affluent neighborhood where the celebrities live. I don't know what donating would do to help. Most of those people are rich, but I mean, I'm pretty sure they could use our prayers because what's going on is pretty fucked up. Dude, I saw a picture of.
You need water for your hydrants, Al.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to wonder how there's no water in those hydrants, man.
Or why all the insurance companies a couple of months ago dropped all the insurance policies.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, nothing like that. I don't think there's anything about that.
So moving past the prayers, let's get into the fun part, if you will. Not so fun part. What people are tossing around. You got I know P. Diddy's house is one of the houses that was set on fire.
But disclaimer before you move on from that picture that's been circulating online, and we've even had it in our chat. Allegedly, that's an older picture of a puffy house burning up or something like that.
Okay.
Well, obviously, don't always believe everything that you see, but obviously, Diddy's house burn up. But that's just there's going to be all kinds of misinformation involved in everything that comes out, and beginning to speaking here and there and the other, there's definitely a lot of things that will be hidden forever now. And think about all the hidden money that's probably gone. That was, hidden cash, stash cash type shit. You know what I'm
and for those that like to downplay the young lady who's been circulating on social media by the name of Allie Carter, she told y'all this shit was going to go down. She told everybody this shit was going to go down, and for the reasons.
6 months ago on Rogan's show. 6 months ago on Rogan's show, he had that dude on there, and they were talking about, look, it's going to come. Yeah. It's coming really soon.
If a wind hits a certain kind of way, they won't be able to stop those fires. Everything will be gone. Everything.
100%.
But I think P. Diddy sent out some of his Venezuelan homeboys to set some fires in the hood.
Or vice versa. The people that didn't want to get busted because of the Diddy situation. Diddy sitting in the jail,
These are, mm-hmm. They say, somebody that's Diddy-like is sitting in jail. But these are a list of these celebrities and their houses that have burned down. And, again, our prayers go out to them. But since they don't have insurance, I'm pretty sure their bank accounts could take care of getting themselves into the home.
Don't think about someone that, because I agree 100%. I don't feel bad for them. And, like look at Paris. Okay, perfect example about what I was going to use I was about to use Paris in this example. It's not, and that's expensive real estate that all burned out. But think of the things that they had in their house. I joked about the stashed cash, but like Paris, she has jewelry and some other stuff valued into the millions upon millions upon millions, worth 10 of her houses that closed. The clothes and shoes alone are worth more than 15 of those houses. So there's a lot of things in all of those homes that they'll never get back, et cetera, et cetera. So if they're all in on it, boy, did they really have to sacrifice. But You know, you never know. It could very just as easily be someone who wanted to fuck these people up now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And they also supposedly have someone in custody who they're calling the suspect in starting a fire that took down the Palisades. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he is the one. It could be a scapegoat, et cetera, et cetera. And then there's certain houses that didn't even get touched. So is this another fucking Hawaii thing? Blue roof?
Who knows, man?
Mm.
But like with I think they said the guy that they caught up was a homeless.
Oh,
biker.
that makes it great. That means
Yeah.
there's no way in this world that he'll be able to defend it. So
No. You know, all those memories gone, everything. Again, feel free to pray for these folks. Man, that's just, what are we, 10, 11 days into the year?
12. Thank you very much.
Like, fuck, man. Pray everything gets better.
Well, I hope nobody lost their life.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything as far as like in that particular area. Yeah. Well, on the lighter things, last night there was a UFC. That was on ESPN. There were a couple of good fights that were. The first one on the main card was a Hawaiian fella. A man knocked Buddy out. Not too much to speak after that. Now the Cesar Almeida and Abdul. I won't try to pronounce his last name. But either way, Abdul puts Cesar Almeida on his ass with a right to the face. Almeida recovers to put this man, I mean, when I'm saying put this man to sleep, he was knocked out taking deep breaths and was out up until it was time for them to announce the fact that he got knocked the fuck out.
It happens.
Ooh, what a fucking phenomenal knockout. And the main event was Mackenzie Dern. She submitted Amanda. And I mean, I think there was like seconds left in the round. Like seconds. And she submitted her ass. And you said she lost the first fight. Right, Marcus?
Yeah.
Do you remember how she lost? Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Mackenzie had just had her baby like maybe 4 or 5 months prior to that fight. I just couldn't remember who won. Was it by decision?
I think it was a decision. I'm not sure. I can't be 100% sure, but I think it was a split or unanimous decision.
Okay. Well, she definitely took it out of the judges' hands last night and submitted her ass. It was a good fight. Good fight. Both chicks are awesome. Now let's get down to the nitty gritty, fellas. Football season. I mean, first, let me just go ahead and bitterly, but as a big brother, happily congratulate Marcus on winning the Super Bowl.
I want to get the MVP. I want to be sure and get the MVP for starting Tyler Huntley and these guys for you.
I'm with you. I had Drake May thinking, hey, young guy's gonna get some play. Dude threw one pass and was out the rest of the game.
Yeah,
I'm like,
good job. You know, fuck the both of you. Okay, fuck the both of you.
Hey, Al, you're the one that told me, because I watched the early games and I was like, I have no shot at winning now because everything went the way it shouldn't have. But yeah, you called me and told me. I was like, oh man.
I legitimately, like, no lie, Marcus. I don't want to take nothing away from it either. I was pulling for you. I was letting the football gods determine what would happen and just play what was available. And because you were in the same boat too.
Yeah.
We were both in the same boat where you know what I mean? Like, that's why I was like, this is perfect. I didn't want it to, like, the way that I won the way that I did throughout the season.
By the way,
I-
you and Marcus cheated
like
me. Go ahead.
No, I literally just gambled every week on the punt return and the defense that I thought was going to have the best game based on matchup. 100%.
And you know what hurts me the most, Rick? When Marcus and I played our first game against one another, we had a gentleman's agreement. We were like, we will remove all special team players from the roster and just put in our skill players and just let it be.
But
You know what Marcus did? He snuck in a special teams dude. Had the
Uh,
nerve to apologize after this dude put up 50 points on me.
wow.
I didn't know that Rashid Shaheed was a punt returner for New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm looking at his numbers, like all of his big players were like, because he's a burner, so I'm like, he's a receiver. I didn't know
He
he was
set me up, dog.
But he got hurt that game, so it was like I couldn't even like continue with it. So
He
you
set
saying
me up.
that
And just
because
like
you
Rick set
didn't
me up.
benefit from it?
I had Rick beat. And then out of nowhere. Hey, Hugh.
Appreciate that, Huey.
Oh, Hugh, I'm glad you're on. I'm glad you're listening. If you can hit us up, whether it be on Facebook, Instagram, get us an email so we can get you out some Blunt Lab swag, for being a fan of the show. We appreciate and we love the fact that you've been listening and participating. So whenever you get a chance, hit us up, let us know. We don't want you to send it out on the airways because we don't need other people sending you shit that we don't want. So hit us up when you can. Let us know. We'll get that swag out to you, brother. And thanks again for listening. Oh, anytime, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
But
Spread the word.
But yeah, out of fucking nowhere, his defense and one dude, 100 fucking points apiece. Oh, and what happens to Al? I fucking lose. You two light-skinned racists cheated me this year. You cost me the Super Bowl. I should have been in the Super Bowl. I should be the champ. I should be getting the belt. All right. Yeah, I'm being petty. Yeah, I told you guys I'm a sore fucking loser. So yeah, congratulations, but F you, dude. All right. You too, Rick. Happy birthday. But yeah, there you have it. Fuck fantasy football. I'm thinking about retiring.
Lies.
Throwing in the gloves.
Lies.
You're not retiring.
We're gonna be on another platform next year. I think I want to play in a little bit bigger man league with less starters. What do you guys think?
Hey,
Maybe where we have like 10 players, or it's 10 teams. And
we should get Marcus a ring though, because he did win the basketball championship and the Super Bowl back to back.
Okay, look at him.
I mean, at this point, I just win championships. I don't even know. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm just like, maybe I'm just, maybe I'm like the Tom Brady of fantasy football. Like I didn't win my first year, but now I just like reel off like 10 out of the next 15 years or something. I don't know. Or Patrick Mahomes, maybe. I don't know. Nah, to be fair though, like this was a wild season. Like the point structure, like I feel like it screwed us all up from the beginning. Like I remember the first week,
screwed it all up. I think it made it like a level playing field for everyone, rookies and vets alike.
Yeah,
because it just and we weren't prepared for it. And then once we were like, oh, okay, they want to do us like that. All right, we'll do it like this, and that changed the outcome of the first week. And you know what I mean? Like it made it kind of impossible to compensate for it all. So next year we're going to a different format. I think it'll be a lot more enjoyable. We're going to have a couple of league meetings and have everything sort of like voted and owned on the owner, from the owner perspective. So we go into the season knowing what's going on, put a little more on the line. That's what I'm thinking.
Right on.
And let's do it right. I think we've had enough. I think we've had our preseason. I think for inappropriate fantasy league, I know we've had more seasons, but it'll be our inaugural preseasons are over, motherfucker time.
Hey, we'll work something out for you, Marcus. We'll get you a ring, man.
Yeah, we'll do something about that.
Even if it's just me and Rick, we'll get you something.
I am gonna go back to back though. I will say. Like,
listen, guys.
Looking forward to
listen. Listen. I hear what you're saying, and hear me out. Let's take these last 3 seasons. First season, all right. I lose the Super Bowl by 4 points, on the very week where Josh Allen, right, and I had his receiver, who no longer plays with him, and I'm not going to say his name because I hate the fucker now, right? The two of them were averaging 20 points a week each, and both of them had to stop gameplay because of Denny Hamlin. And that game, that was during Super Bowl week. So if they would have finished that game, I would have got those 4 points.
That's 2 years in a row you robbed me, Rick. 2 years in a row.
Okay,
2 years in a row. You know, I feel like the Buffalo Bills, man. You know, I make it to the game 2-3 times in a row, 4 times in a row, and I can't win it.
You were in the Super Bowl last year, though.
Yeah, but I didn't win, though. You know, if you ain't first, you're last.
I blew you out last year, though. There was not. You weren't even anywhere close last year.
It wasn't even fun to watch. I almost fucking kicked my TV because of what was going on. I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I almost said I wasn't gonna play again.
I will say though, like the last game of the week, like going into the last week, Derrick Henry saved my ass, man.
Yes, he
30
did.
points.
McBride too.
Yeah.
You know what? I say this. I dropped McBride.
Aaron Rodgers and the New York fucking Jets saved your ass. Fuck that.
Dude, I dropped McBride just to see who was paying attention.
Are you
to the
watching
freaking
this?
Yeah, I am. Did you see the head-to-head collision?
They just drug him 20 yards. I never seen that before in the history of football, of watching TV. Never have I seen him got drugged that far.
I've seen Herschel Walker do it.
Look, watch. Here's the replay.
That's
watch. Now he's getting hit going down. Now his boys pick him up. Go.
That's crazy. A grown ass man dragging you down the field is embarrassing.
Before we sidebar too far, I mean, what do you guys think are going to happen with these playoffs? I know we're talking about what happened with ours, but
we're done with ours. You know, we'll take care of Marcus's. Like as far as these playoffs, I'll start. You know, I'm going to stick to what I said a couple of episodes ago. Minnesota is my upset pick.
You think they're going to beat Detroit again?
I think they're going to beat Detroit.
Detroit just beat them down 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
last week.
Think they're going to beat. Yeah, but I think they're going to beat Detroit. It takes me back. It takes me back to a year when the Patriots were undefeated. I think they were facing the Giants week 14 or 15. And I mean, like, the Giants were getting in that ass in that game. But the Patriots pulled it off. They finished the season undefeated.
And then
what happened?
The Super Bowl.
Bingo. And for me, the NFC championships is like the Super Bowl to me. Those are usually the best games before the Super Bowl. So I think if it is Minnesota and Detroit that make it to the championship, and I'm picking Minnesota to go. I think Minnesota's going to knock them out.
I think so. I think this is Detroit's here on the NFC side, and I think it's Buffalo's here on the AFC side.
I know you're a gambling man, Rick. You want to bet $1? I can cash out.
You know what sucks though for Detroit? It seems like every week they're having like another injury on defense,
and
like every week. But I'm saying they still find ways. Like as long as like Gibbs and Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown are there, Jameson Williams, like they got a shot. Like you're gonna have to outscore them. That's really what it's gonna come down to. And their offensive line is great. Like it's just defensively, like I just wish like they would have had all their guys just to see. Like, and like I don't know, like I would assume or like I mean Detroit should be the favorite considering the season they had. And like I was saying, like with Minnesota, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. Like if they were to play in a championship game, like I feel like all bets are off because like those are the years the Giants won the Super Bowl and Dallas whooped our ass twice that season. We played them in the playoffs and we got them.
Waxed that ass.
So, but I mean, it'd be a good game though. As long as Philly don't make it, I'm cool.
Wait. Last year you were undercover lover of the Philadelphia Eagles. It's
Saquon, man. Saquon going there just. I'm not even mad at him.
I thought you were good with that though. I thought you made peace.
Oh yeah,
I'm happy.
I'm happy for him, but I don't want to see Philly do well though. Right.
Okay, I'm glad you're back
It's
to
too
that
good.
point because
Yeah.
you had me questioning it. You've made me feel as bad as me, rooting for Buffalo or Al rooting for Kansas City. You know what I mean?
You know,
I've hated that Josh Allen went there just simply because it's like fuck. Because I really want to root for this kid, and he's one of the few white boy quarterbacks in the last decade and a half that I can even be proud of.
yeah, I mean, and I don't know if
more because he's got balls than anything else, just balls.
And I don't know
both in his game plan and his decision making.
I don't know if we took the time to congratulate him, but him and I'm a little upset by it, but still happy for them as a couple. But him and Haley Steinspiel are engaged to be married.
Yeah, you're undercover.
They don't talk about it a lot though. Considering she's a huge actress.
She's a huge actress.
She's one of the
she's
best
a pop
players
star.
In the league. Yeah,
she's in Marvel. She's in Marvel, for Christ's sake.
Listen. I'm so glad you said that because this is a point that I've wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of times for these same multiple reasons. Agree with me or not? Real quick, yes or no? Josh Allen wins the Super Bowl. They turn them into a Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce scenario where they use
as they should. As they should. Yeah, should. I mean, it should be that now, considering what he is to the NFL.
They're testing the waters with it already. They're starting to give him some kind of advertising stuff, and they've obviously been trying to make him the face of the league for the last few years, but it's been like Patrick. And now I think they've got enough, kind of like the Steph Curry thing, where when you've won enough and you've been so dominant, obviously Kansas City, Patrick, then you start to get a lot of haters, which is starting to happen with them. Now they're the heel, if you will, and the good guy, bad guy thing. And this might give Josh his chance to get his year to beat Kansas City. You know what I mean?
He could share the spotlight.
It's WWE. We all know it. Yeah. Maybe the momentum's his way this year.
There's plenty of room for that. And again, say what you will about Taylor. She's a big music star, talented, whatever. I mean,
she brings the demographic though. She's a different level. Yeah. Haley won't ever be that, but they can definitely market that.
Not yet, but because she's in Marvel, and I expect for Marvel to do better things, especially with her character and having to move on from Jeremy Renner, I expect her to have a different type of demographic. Because I mean, dude, she's a beautiful girl. She's talented. I mean,
she will be accepted by the men better than Taylor has been.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, congratulations. They're engaged now, right?
Yeah, they're
engaged.
Congratulations to Josh and Haley.
I will say though, if Josh fucks around and does it this year, considering what he's gonna have to go through, he's gonna have to go through Lamar. He's gonna have to go through Patrick.
Well, he may not have to go through Lamar, but he'll definitely have to go through Patrick.
And
it'll be one or the other.
Super Bowl, it'll be the first one in franchise history. I think they're gonna push him to the moon if he fucks around and does it. Either way, he's already one of the top tier guys. He's a top 3 quarterback. You know what I mean? Regardless, maybe 2, maybe 3, hell, maybe 1 to some
active players.
Yeah, active quarterbacks. Him, Lamar, Patrick, Burrow, however you want to jumble them around. Those are the guys.
And in Buffalo, because they love themselves some Jim Kelly. If he wins himself one this year,
then he'll be better than Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's it. One championship is all that'll take. They're equal now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that shifts everything.
Well, you see, I can't say they're equal because Jim Kelly.
He takes them deep in the playoffs every time. So that's really
Jim Kelly took his team to the Super Bowl.
No, Jim Kelly took them deep into the playoffs every time. I honestly will argue with you that when I say this, Jim Kelly did not have the competition, all right, that he does. He didn't have to play nobody on the level of what Patrick and Kansas City is doing. Man. And at the end of the day, that's the only guy that's really fucked with Josh. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that Jim Kelly had Josh's competition. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I don't know, man.
They both go deep into the playoffs and in the big game choke.
In the AFC, I think I agree. They didn't have the comp until they got to the Super Bowl and they lost all of them. But like in the AFC, it was like Marino was a beast.
But he wasn't really having to play. They only were playing them in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't.
Now you think I don't know how about the teams that were that good back then. I mean, I felt like all of them were in the NFC.
I'll tell you right now,
Niners,
you
the
had
Cowboys.
Buffalo, I think the
Mhm.
Redskins, the Cowboys.
What teams did Jim Kelly beat in the playoffs?
That's what I'm saying. Like the Cowboys, the Redskins, Commanders, the Niners.
Pittsburgh was always kind of strong.
True.
The Patriots always sucked.
Yeah. Houston wasn't. The Oilers, they weren't good back then. Well, they were.
Are you ready?
They had a good offense, but no defense.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rick.
88, he lost to the Bengals. In 90, he beat the Raiders, blew them out. In 91, he beat the Broncos. In 92, he beat the Dolphins. In 93, he beat the Chiefs. And then, of course, he lost all the Super Bowls.
Broncos, that's another one.
And I think that 93 Chiefs team probably was the one with Joe Montana and Marcus Allen.
Yes. Yeah.
Back then. But either way, I don't know that Josh is going to make it to the Super Bowl. It's going to be Minnesota and Kansas City.
Think so?
And so. So what's our dollar bet on, Rick?
Like right now, he's playing right now. I won't get my parlay, and he won't even get out of the first round.
Jeez. Oh, no. Speaking of that, bro, can I bring up one thing before we go any further? Like, last night's wild card game, Justin Herbert fucking imploded, bro. Like, what the hell was that?
Choked
Like,
in
what
the
was
playoffs.
that?
What do you mean? 4 picks.
That's going to be the narrative going forward with him. They're going to be like, well, he's a good player. They can't
always
win
chokes.
anything that matters. Yeah, that's it.
He's a great backup when your guy goes down.
Like, he's good in the regular season. Once the playoffs start, that's it. They did the same thing a couple years ago when they were up 28 to whatever, Jacksonville, and lost that game. Like,
that. I didn't really watch.
Houston, like, hasn't been playing very well.
Queen
No.
was talking about it. Under pressure.
Like for Houston to pull that off, with CJ Stroud.
Here goes CJ again. Here goes CJ again. You ready?
Like, you know what? CJ rode my bench the entire year.
But he wasn't
the
putting
exception-
up fantasy points, bro. So you didn't do anything wrong.
No, he wasn't. Bro, you had Lamar and Joe Burrow. Yeah, Burrow and Lamar.
There he goes. There he goes. Oh, you got to get in and get my parlay. Get in there, motherfucker. Sorry. Don't worry.
Who's your favorite football team, buddy? If you watch football, let us know.
Right? Let us know.
I want to say you told us before, but I smoke a lot of weed, so I forget a lot. So who's your favorite?
Who are you rooting for? Who are you rooting for to win the Super Bowl?
Now, this year, who do you guys feel should be the MVP? Because the debate is.
Oh no! I'm not talking about Philly, right?
I do remember that now. I do remember that.
You know what? Respectfully, though, I don't hate the Eagles like I hate the Cowboys. Like I fucking hate the Cowboys.
Yeah. Because I like Jalen Hurts.
I like the Eagles. Yeah.
I like Jalen Hurts. I love Saquon.
Love AJ Brown and Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert. Loved Jason Kelsey when he was there all those years. Like
Jason Kelsey was the heart and soul of that offensive line, and he was the secret to that tush push because they still do it now, but not as well.
He was the captain of it.
He wasn't call it. Just if Jalen Hurts doesn't tush push 15 times this year, Saquon might have the damn touchdown record, bro.
Yeah.
Like he might have the touchdown record. Should have played the last game. And that's what I was talking about the other day. If the Eagles come out today and lose to Green Bay, that shit would be fucking hilarious because there's no reason that you don't go and get that damn rushing record against the team that had him, that didn't value him, and that's how poetic and beautiful that would have been. Oh, yeah.
Rematch.
I would hope for the Eagles' sake that doesn't happen because it's going to be the same. Look at San Francisco. They played Kansas City twice. No, think about it. The 49ers played twice in the Super Bowl, right? Same outcome. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't want it. Hey,
look, as far as my wife is concerned, Patrick is getting his third ring. He is the GOAT. She doesn't give a damn what anyone thinks.
Third straight. There's before in a row. Yeah.
Third straight, fourth overall. He does need 3 more. If he gets 3 more to tie up the 7 rings, I will put him past Brady as far as the GOAT conversation goes because he 3-peated and Brady never did.
Yeah, that's true.
But Patrick has to get those 7 rings first. Patrick has to get those 7 rings first.
That's not quite. This is not the NBA, though. All right, look, a 3-peat. I'm not saying a 3-peat isn't hard, and that wasn't a great achievement. All right,
especially in the NFL.
But what I'm going to throw out there is this: Brady didn't always have it every year where they needed it in defense to get through the regular season. So a 3-peat isn't now. If he gets 4 more rings, or let me rephrase. If he gets 3 rings and then another ring after that, then he's right there with Tom in rings, right? Because then they'll both have 5, right? I mean 6.
I thought it was 7.
Tom has 7.
Brady's got 7, yeah.
And then that'll put Patrick at 5 if he wins this year.
4.
3 plus 4. 1 more. Okay, 4. So so then I would say even if he 3-peats this year, then he only needs 1.5, 2 more to kind of equal Tom's 7. Because the 3-peat will hold true. But if they keep winning the way that they've been winning, and so many people putting it on there, it's going to be as tainted as the New England's championships with the different scandals. But at the same time, everybody still kind of calls Brady the GOAT, don't they?
Yeah. Now, before we continue, I want to address the Cincinnati fucking Bengals. Now, again, when you're the winning team, Kansas City, people are going to call you cheaters. People are going to say the refs been looking out for you, blah, 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 blah. Cincinnati essentially pulled a Devin Haney. Why are you crying? If you guys wanted to be in the playoffs and compete in the playoffs, you should have won more games. Thank you, Hugh. Yeah. Thank you.
Don't lose week 1 against New England.
Why would a team who's already clinched, who doesn't need to play, essentially, not let their backup? I mean, when in the history has any team ever done that when they've already clinched? Why would I play my starters to get hurt?
That's literally what every team does once they clinch their spot or they clinch the division and there's nothing else to play for, they rest.
And Cincinnati, the bitch Bengals, want to cry about, I want them investigating for throwing the game.
Bro, the Bengals defense should be looking at themselves. Joe Burrow and them put up in losses, I think it was like 5 losses, they put up 30 to 40 points in 5 losses.
Listen,
don't lose to New England in week 1. You're in the playoffs. Essentially,
Marcus.
New England is terrible.
Marcus, 100% correct. It's the defense. And this is where I'm going to make my point. If you look at stats, the overall stats and how they rate quarterbacks, 100%, Joe Burrow was one of the top 2 quarterbacks in the league all year in the majority of the divisions, which goes to my point of championships don't line up with stats. Back to the point of it don't matter what offensive points you're putting up, stats. LeBron. Sorry, I caught. It doesn't really matter about fucking stats if you can't. If your team is not winning a team sport, and then
look at Tom Brady's Super Bowls, dude. His stats weren't outrageous at all.
Exactly. It was more. It's the ability to win when it matters. Okay, white man can jump. The white man can't jump. The first one. Is it about looking good or about winning? Because at the end of the day, stats is looking good. And I'm not saying you don't get accolades and other certain things don't come along with the stats. I'm not saying they don't warrant a merit and they don't matter. What I'm saying is that stats don't make you the best. But yes, they are part of the buildup of that. It's just one of the elements. It's kind of like when you go to school. You know how like the weight of like it might be like the final grade. You know, the finals grade when you go take the final, that's 30% of your grade. And then so it might carry a large weight, but it's not the only all and be all. Stats don't make it all for me.
Yep.
It's about going
That's
out there and winning, passing every test. When you go take that quiz every week, that means you learned what you did that week if you got an A every week, and that's more important to me. And that's the idea behind consistency and winning games. I want to see you win all season long and win in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Dominate in the playoffs.
I feel bad for Burrow with the season he had. Jamar Chase triple crown, the Hendrickson with the sack record or the lead in the league in sacks. Like, I feel bad for those guys because they did their part. T. Higgins did his thing.
Bad coaching, bad play calling.
Play calling, defense. Like, dude, you can't drop 30, 40 points and lose. Like, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah,
time management.
That's insane.
Time management.
Yeah, multiple times, not just like once or twice. Like 5 or 6 games you lost. It's like, dude, you did everything. You did enough to win, and the rest of your team, like Rick's saying, this is the ultimate team game. I don't give a shit how good you are individually. If everybody around you is not that good, that's gonna bring you down. Essentially, like you're gonna put up numbers and lose.
Like if anything, it does it makes an argument that Joe could go to a winning team and get all the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That literally does that. I think that Tampa is probably the most consistent NFC team right now.
Yeah. And I second that. That's going to be a great game because both offenses are fucking phenomenal. And I just wanted to, Cleveland, you guys are jackasses for letting go of my boy here. All right. I'm glad he's doing well in Tampa. I'm glad he's lighting it up. My man played a year hurt for Cleveland. Yeah. Now, just because he had a rough year, you want to let him go to pay a rapist that much money? What did my man do for you? What did my boy do for you?
That's the Cleveland curse, Al.
He robbed you. Deshaun Watson robbed him. That's what he did.
Now, for that Tampa-Washington game, shit, who do I pick to win that one? Let me see. I hate Washington, so I'm going Tampa.
I think I'm going to go with Washington, man. Something about Jaden Daniels, bro.
You've been picking them rookies.
He's up and coming, but it's not his time yet. Tampa has their game down right now, and Tampa's got their number too. Mark Daddy's words. It's coming.
Hey,
I got Tampa. I got Tampa in that one. Hugh.
I picked it in my $800 parlay as well.
And Marshawn Lattimore versus Mike Evans. Because Lattimore's on Washington now.
What you need to pay attention to is Bucky. So Mike's going to get doubled and triple teamed a lot in this matchup. Mark my words. And Bucky's going to get a chance to shine.
It's going to be it should be a lot of points scored in this game.
It's going to be a good one. One.
Man, shout out to Philly, Baker, man.
Baker Mayfield, man. He's killing it, dude.
Making Cleveland look dumber and dumber every year.
And I'm glad to see that too.
Yeah.
Because after driving through Cleveland and staying in Cleveland, Cleveland is trash. All right, trash. I'm sorry for the people who have. I apologize to the people who have to stay there. Sometimes you just don't have a choice. I mean. New York isn't the best place in the world. I'm not saying New York is the best place, but man, Cleveland is trash, bro. I mean, especially the hotel we stayed at, bro. It reminded me of American Horror Story, the hotel.
Oh, jeez.
I thought something was going to come out the mattress, dog. Like, my wife and I couldn't sleep. I mean, shit.
Wow.
We to take a shower in there, we emptied our bottle of Lysol, the wipes. I mean, we didn't want our skin touching anything in Cleveland. It was just so like. So that's how I look at the team. Man. The team is trash. It's just trash in that area.
I like their coach though. I like Stefanski.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah. He ain't got no chance really. That team. Myles Garrett needs to ask for a trade. Like he needs to go ahead and ask to be out of there.
Before we finish up, let's get back to it. Who do you guys feel should be the MVP this year in your personal life? I mean, they're talking. It should either be Lamar or Josh. Do you guys think it should be one of those two or somebody else, or are they overlooking someone else? And what are your thoughts too, Hugh?
I think if we're gonna look at it just based off raw numbers and like the statistics. Obviously, it would be Lamar. Like, dude put up 41 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, ran for another 700-800 yards and a few touchdowns. Like,
I thought he ran for 900 yards.
Oh yeah, maybe 900. I think narrative wise, I feel like it's probably going to be Josh. He's never won an MVP. He literally put this team on his back. He traded away his weapons. Gabe Davis is gone. Stephon Diggs is gone. And he just Superman this shit, rushing touchdowns, passing. He's not turning the ball over because that was his whole thing his first few years. I mean,
that was going to be my argument. To piggyback to you, that was going to be my argument as well.
Honestly, though, I felt like if Saquon got the record, maybe, but we could just look at the year Christian McCaffrey had. Was it last year? And he didn't win. Lamar didn't even do that much. I mean, Lamar was fine, and they had the best record, but that's a quarterback award, man. Like, skill players are never going to get that. Why is it
a quarterback award? I'm not saying it hasn't been that traditionally, but why is
that's what the NFL has made it, though, essentially, because they value that position more than anything. Because last year was a perfect example of it. With the year that Christian McCaffrey had, he should have easily won it. And then, what was the last skill player to win it? Was it Adrian Peterson? 10, 11, 12 years ago?
The last
when he ran for 2,000? But, I mean, I don't think a receiver even has – because, a receiver, if you have great numbers, it's like, okay, your quarterback obviously was balling too, it's always going to come back to that. But I don't think it should be that way. I'm just, that's just how the NFL has made that award. They should separate it like they do in college.
Yeah, it should be best quarterback, best.
Yeah. Best. I can't remember what the quarterback award is, but the Doak Walker is the running back, and they should have because I feel like the skill player MVP is the offensive player, defensive player of the year. I feel like that's their MVP, and the MVP itself is for quarterbacks. Why don't they just name it that? This is the quarterback award. It is what it is. That's what I mean. I feel like it's going to be between the two of them. I would lean for Lamar, but I feel like Josh is probably going to win it, and that's fine too. I'm not mad at if he wasn't win it either. So,
but what about you, Rick?
So yeah, I'm kind of torn on that whole thing. So looking at it from the perspective of what you're saying, yes, if it's about the best quarterback, then it's not really about MVP. MVP is about the most valuable player for that team, right? So I think, why does it matter if the player is valuable if the team's not winning? So it's a very scrupulative award.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, based on the narrative, I'll use your terminology. Like you said, it's going to be based between those two quarterbacks. It's not a coincidence that the MVP doesn't get named until we get a little deep into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what happens today in this game that we've got going on right now and the Baltimore game, I will kind of determine who gets it. If I'm keeping it real.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I'll say this. Tua proved to be the most valuable player to a team this year.
Yeah, no
in my
shit.
personal opinion.
You got a
Now,
point.
Look, I lived in Florida for 23 years, so I do support Florida teams. I have love for Florida teams. I have a lot of love for Tua. When he was hurt, Miami wasn't doing shit. You saw what they were doing when he was healthy. Then he got hurt. You saw what happened. And then he came back. We saw what happened.
Yeah,
correct.
That to me proves that he's the most valuable player on that team. Now, Saquon beasted it out. I would put him right up there.
Yeah.
Now, considering it is Lamar and Josh in the conversation, I'm going to say this. Regardless of what the numbers say, regardless of what happens today, that award will probably go to Josh, because when you listen to both dudes on the microphone, people are going to prefer to talk to Josh than to Lamar.
I mean, Lamar's already won the bitch before, so you can't see that.
Lamar's
you
got
can't
two.
see that.
Lamar's
Lamar
got
has
two.
won it before on lesser years. But to the Saquon point, and this is what I was going to say at the end of mine when you
go back to those interviews.
is
watch
that,
how long they lasted.
But listen,
and
I
go
agree
back to
with
every
you.
other interview.
No. Lamar would be the face of the league if he was a little bit prettier and had a better voice. 100%. 100%. He'd be the face of the fucking league. They want a black
didn't
man to
sound
be the
good
face
up.
of the league, but they need the right guy. You understand? It's still going to be the right guy. Having said that, to the point on Saquon, this is why it's a strong argument for him. If you take Saquon out of Philly this year,
Oh yeah,
they may not
They're
even
not a
get
playoff team.
playoffs,
Yeah,
much less be
no.
a contender.
Yeah.
And that goes back to your point about Tua, right? To your point about Tua. But it's a little bit harder when it didn't make it to where they're supposed to go.
Light skin is being disrespectful already.
Always.
He don't even have to say nothing. He's just being disrespectful.
He's got a lot
already.
to say right now because his team isn't even in contention to get a win on any given week right now. But they should have never let Belichick go. They should have let him run that team.
I mean, to be fair though, like Rick said, Lamar is a 2-time MVP, and if we're going straight off of just like what he did, obviously,
because he don't got a ring either.
Yeah, like, he had a better season than Josh. I mean, and they went head to head, and Baltimore curb stopped them. So
Baltimore has way more weapons. Baltimore has more weapons.
Oh yeah.
And I take what Daniel Jones did to the Giants extremely personal. I hope I never see that motherfucker in the streets because it might be on site. But yeah, I mean, can you imagine if Sam Darnold goes down?
I think
Daniel Jones comes in and wins it for the Vikings.
Lamar has his best chance to win a Super Bowl this year on this one basis. He put up his. You saw that. He put up his MVP numbers, right? The same numbers that he put up when he won his MVPs is what he put up this year. They're going to go deep into the playoffs, and he is not beat up, banged up, and spent like they were on those MVP numbered years. He's also been able to stay healthy as well.
Yes.
Like he hasn't gone down all year. He hasn't got used up. Derrick Henry has taken such a load off of him in terms of coverage. Whether it's not necessarily a number compensation thing, but because they got to focus on Derrick back there, that option has now become like one of the best RPO/option type of offense that there's ever been. And you guys have heard me these last 3 years say how it looks like broken play offense to me. Now it looks good. Now it looks right because they got the right running back there. Now it looks like an RPO offense.
Dude, they got me on a couple of fakes. Like there were times where I thought he handed it off to Henry, and then it's Lamar running down. I was like, "Holy!" You know,
that's
I was like,
scary
man,
as hell for a defense.
It is. It is
Lamar
in the playoffs.
Oh my god! And then you got to make decisions. Like, dude, Lamar is going to run for 100 yards if we don't stop this. But we saw what Derrick Henry did last night. He can easily do that. And then the play action, like, and Zay Flowers coming back. Oh man, yeah, I agree with you, Rick. This is literally their best shot. This is the best shot they've had at it.
And Julian, he's been, Julian's being a Pats fan has been an undercover Baltimore fan. Like that's his, AFC rival that he actually likes a lot. He's always said it. He wants Lamar to get his chip. So I know he probably appreciates what I've noticed.
And I mean, no one is more deserving at this point. I mean, both him and Josh.
I think deserve it.
Yeah.
If both of them could win, that would be phenomenal. But we know it can't happen.
It just don't work like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Minnesota and Detroit. There's a lot of people who would want to see Minnesota and Detroit in the Super Bowl. They think that that's the two most deserving teams. Obviously they can't. They got to be the NFC championship. And what we're talking about now with this whole, with these two is that the AFC favorites want to see these two guys in a Super Bowl together. So
to quote one of the greatest movies ever, there can be only one.
Can be only one. Thou shalt not pass.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, it is going to live. It's really gonna grind my gears if something happens to Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones comes in to win for Minnesota.
Oh, stop it!
No, that's not gonna happen, bro.
You know what'll happen is the Giants will trade to get him back.
That would be the same thing when the Magic let go of Turkoglu.
Yeah.
Only to give up a first-round pick to bring him back.
Like the thing with your Vikings pick, though, Detroit kind of showed something. They kind of exposed a little bit. That if you really just bring the house, like Sam Darnold has seen ghosts. That's his words, not mine. He says this. I saw
No.
ghosts out there. It can happen. And Daniel Jones, bro. Like I feel like the thing with Daniel Jones is like he's been broken for years. Like, and a lot of that's not even his fault. Like the Giants have continuously sucked and put him in the worst positions to be in. He's almost like David Carr. That's what comes
Yeah,
to
yes, I agree with, and not
Right.
to say, it's not that I want them to win, Hugh. It's it would just be funny, but not funny if it goes down that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
John
I mean,
Daly-
again, it's
John Daly,
it's
Tiger Woods.
Sam Darnold. Nobody
Yeah.
expect, because I mean, take a look at our draft for fantasy football. Nobody even looked at him.
Yeah.
Nobody
And he
until
balled
he
out.
started doing shit, and he balled out this year.
Because they were
Now-
on a rebuild, like they were off the radar. That's how that happens every year with somebody.
He has a little bit of a history of getting hurt.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
So
he does
that-
have Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and Hawkinson
And I've
and
said
Aaron
this.
Jones. A great
And I've said
offensive
this.
line.
Daniel Jones is the biggest prankster in the NFL. Look how much money he pranked out of the Giants.
You think he was losing on purpose?
I
You
mean,
think,
you know,
you think he tripped on the 15-yard line when no one was around him on purpose?
he looked like a blonde chick running from a fucking killer in a fucking horror movie.
Jason
I can't
was
get it.
behind her.
I can never get over that. Like, I will never
And
get over that. Like
Minnesota
yeah.
has way more talent than the Giants do.
Yeah.
So if Sam Darnold gets hurt, he has a little bit, and again, he's still a bum to me. He's still a bum. But who's to say that he can't pull it off? With all that talent around him, I mean, like, dude, who's to say he can't pull it off?
And, hey, to
It
be
would
fair,
disgust
man,
me,
Daniel Jones had Saquon fucking Barkley, bro. What the
That's
fuck are you
true.
talking about?
but he had
Yeah,
no
that's
offensive line and
Yeah.
no one really trustworthy to throw to.
not
If you
really,
can't
no.
throw the ball, I mean, again,
Aren't
he's
the
good.
Vikings playing on the Rams today or tomorrow?
Yeah,
Is that
tomorrow
tomorrow?
night they play Matt Stafford and the Rams.
I don't think that's a foregone conclusion. They're making out the first round.
They may lose to the Rams tomorrow night.
They really might. The Rams are, hey man, Puka Nacua, freaking Cooper Kupp has been disappearing the last few weeks. I know personally because he was my fantasy receiver, and there was a game that I started him. This man literally put up 0 points, bro. I was in shock. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, this has to be like the assistant's fucking with me. That's not true. There's no way he didn't catch not one pass. Like, this is unbelievable. But I'm saying the Rams, like they could do it. I mean, I don't know if I'd pick them to do it, but I
I
wouldn't be
really did
shocked.
not
Bro.
get this to be 10-7 right now.
So
Like-
yeah, it's a pretty low scoring game. So I'm picking Minnesota and Kansas City in the Super Bowl. Who you got, Rick?
Detroit, Buffalo.
What about you, little bro?
I think I'm going. I don't want to be basic with it and disagree. I think I'm gonna go KC. KC. Yeah, I'll say KC and Detroit. Like, fuck it, man. Detroit seems like they're a team of destiny this year. Just seems like it's all coming.
I think
you-
Buffalo
you-
can beat Kansas City if they have to do it.
And Hugh has Philly and Kansas City, so we'll see.
Mhm. Hey, and I want to say too, because we broached it earlier. Watch out for Green Bay. Green Bay
Yeah,
can
dude.
fuck around, and hey, that NFC North is like the AFC North at this point. Like all them teams are good except the Bears, obviously. But like them other three, shit, man, they all won like 11 games up, you know. So
So now
I
that
think
we got that out the way,
playoffs all the way through. I think we got good
Yeah.
games all the way through. Like this is
Yeah.
not blowouts. There's no
Mhm.
real guaranteed winner.
Julian, who do you got going to the Super Bowl too, Julian? I mean,
it was very competitive this year, that's for sure.
oh, it is very competitive.
Julian's
this year.
going to say Baltimore and the Lions.
Mm.
Well, I'm going to say that I love you all, but you're all wrong, and I'm right.
I will say,
How you
you,
doing?
if the Birds do make it to the Super Bowl, I will gladly watch Patrick Mahomes stomp them out. That's respectful. That's me respecting you to you
with the bird.
because I love you and I appreciate you, brother. But I need you to know I'm never gonna forgive Philly for what they did. Like I will never forgive it. I can root for their players, but I cannot root for them. So I mean, I'll say this: if Saquon went to Dallas, I would have crashed out. Like I would have crashed out, bro.
He would have probably stopped watching fucking
I
football.
would have been done. I'm done. I can't do this no more.
I'd have went back to back this year.
I can't do it
No.
no more.
Now that we've gotten that out of the way, there's talk that Belichick might come back. Who was it that he was going to coach?
I don't know what you were watching, but it's not.
Yeah, the Raiders. The Raiders.
I mean,
What?
Brady's
No man. If anybody is going to the Raiders in a more active fashion in the football operation, it's going to be Tom Brady. You got bad information. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, you're about to have a setup. Let's see the clip for dude.
Hey, time to come out of retirement and play for the Raiders. Like
That
Jordan
was yo.
when
Did
he
you
was
see
at
that
Washington.
picture? Dude was standing behind him with the blank check. Brady was sitting there.
There was talk, but I don't think that'll happen. But there's another.
No,
there's
No,
another,
he's going to get involved. He's going to get involved in player operations. Mark my
Mhm.
fucking words. You're about to see it go down. But
Yeah.
no, 100%. Belichick is about to become the new Nick Saban of fucking NCAA football, and that's what he wants to do. You got to
I
give
hope
him
so.
some time to not like that before he goes back
Now,
to the NFL.
Another thing I want to predict. I want to predict this. And again, I am not a fan of this team, but I believe this team will do better this year if, in fact, Pete Carroll takes over the Chicago job.
Maybe.
Because I think what he did with Russell Wilson and that type of quarterback, he'll be able to do with this young fella that this past coach couldn't do. And I think Caleb will have a better second year.
Oh yeah,
with some of the talent that they have around, and
Caleb would be fine. Like Caleb would be fine. They just get a good coach in there, offensive mind.
And I think Pete Carroll is going to cater to that because Pete Carroll knows how to play with these college boys.
That's true. That is true.
So
yeah,
I think that'll happen. Well, hey, I want to thank everybody for joining us here for this live session at the lab. Hugh, Julian, thank you. Again, Hugh, that's up. All right, cut it off. I'm joined by my brother Mark.